Hey, all. Today I thought I would talk about something that's a real problem for homeowners and, travelers and renters too can run into this, and that is bed bugs. One of the worst pests that you can get is bed bugs. And here's why. I'm going to tell you what to do, options for getting rid of them, and I did take pest tech in college, so pest management, so you can trust my information. So, bed bugs are now insects that bite are vectors, and that means that when they bite, they carry stuff, right, for disease. Bed bugs so far have not been shown to spread disease, and it's really gross. Why? If you have bed bugs, fortunately, they are what are called clean feeders. Now, here's the icky part. All other vectors, like kissing bugs, you can get kissing disease. Mosquitoes, all those other biting insects actually are vectors. And that's because they have this little thing called a proboscis, and it's like a straw, and they poke through your skin and they spit in you. And the reason you get that burning itching from a mosquito bite is because that's their saliva going into you, and it has anticoagulants, etc. But it is a straw, and it is dirty. It has whatever a previous person or animal had. So that's how malaria and things like that spread through mosquito bites. Is the mosquito actually, its straw is not clean. Yeah. Now, butterflies and moths, they use the same thing where they have a straw that they put in the flower. And you look at them while they're drinking and they got this long, cute little curly tongue. Yeah. Well, mosquitoes and biting flies, oh, those are so painful. Theirs looks like a blade, and it's pretty bad. So they spit up into you, and whatever they have in them, yeah, it's kind of like being bitten by a rabid dog, right? Yeah, scary stuff. So they are vectors. However, the good thing about bed bugs is they're clean feeders in that they don't spit up in you. So there's some good news there about them. They don't swap spit into you. They're slow feeders, unlike mosquitoes that like to get in, put their anticoagulant saliva goo into you, and suck really fast. Bed bugs, they go after you while you're asleep. They're nocturnal, and so they take their time. They actually bite instead of poking holes in you. Yeah. So they have not found any incidences of bed bugs directly giving people and spreading disease so far. We might see it in the future. It may turn out that, oh, oops. So, I'm going to talk about my personal experience with bed bugs. Go into that. I'm not really sure where I got them. I bought a mirror that was on sale that had been returned at Bed Bath and Beyond when they were open. I miss them. And put it in my room because it was for my room. That could have very well. Bed bugs hide wherever. Could have been on that. I did have a friend who did get bed bugs. She does a furniture bank, and I told her, whatever you do not bring that furniture into your home or car. You're going to get bed bugs. Well, she didn't listen, and she put a piece of furniture in the middle of her living room that was loaded with bed bugs. And I'll go into a little bit about how you check furniture for evidence of bed bugs. Look that up because I can't really show you much because I don't have any residual evidence, really. Kind of do. So I really don't know where I got them from. I also visited someone in their bedroom and sat on their bed for a few months off and on. And honestly, I think it's more likely that I got it there because the one friend I didn't have much contact with, and the other friend I was with a lot, and it was a new friend. Yeah. So I kind of think I got it from her. I tried to tell her, hey, you may want to check for bed bugs. All that did was make her mad. It doesn't hurt to check, you guys. It doesn't hurt to check. Right? Yeah. In any case, that's a little tidbit about it. And so I stay awake at all hours as disabled. I love the night. You know, I love being up at night. Night is so quiet and calm and beautiful. And I've always been that way. So I would stay up and I started seeing what looked like baby stink bugs in my bed. And I had never been shown what a live bed bug looked like. And so I didn't really know what, but I thought they were baby stink bugs. And I'm like, why do I have baby stink bugs everywhere? This is really weird. And the reason I say stink bugs is because I squished one and it smelled like a stink bug. So there you go. If you squish a bed bug, you know it's a bed bug because it smells like a stink bug or shield bug. So everybody pretty much is familiar with that stench. So I squished it. It smelled like stink bug. And I realized that there shouldn't be anything getting into the house. Most bugs are not nocturnal, but there is one that is, right? And where were the adult stink bugs? And why? Where are they getting in? How is this happening? Stink bugs are not a pest to us, and they're not anything that would come into our house, let alone our bed. They're kind of shy, right? They don't really like to be handled. So I looked up bed bugs and what they smell like, and they kept saying coriander, coriander, coriander. I'm like, I don't know what coriander smells like. And then I punched in, do bed bugs smell like stink bugs? And it said, yes, they do. I freaked out. Absolutely freaked out, of course. Panic, panic, freak, freak. Realized that all the bugs that I saw were of specific sizes only and a reddish color. Oops. You would think if it was a pest tech, I would know exactly what that is. You would think they would have shown us what they look like in class. But they more focused on outdoor insects, so I thought I would pass on some information. So, because I already knew where to check for bed bugs, I went to the first place you check, and sure as shit, I had colonies there. So I'm going to show you evidence of my bed bugs. We'll come over here real quick because, yeah, it's kind of, I'll tell you what I did. I think you'll find it interesting. So let's take a look at the residual bed bug fun that I've got going on here. So this is the first place you're going to look for bed bugs. Pull back your sheet because they love the seams along these older mattresses. And they will hide along here, especially up by your head, okay? So where's evidence of mine? Let's see. I folded this back, like so, is the first thing I did. And I'm not sure where it went, but I have my blood all over along here. What I did was I took a wet towel, and because they're along these seams here, I wish it were still there, but it seems to be gone. In any case, there were stains here for the longest time. And I ran a wet washcloth along it. Just grabbed a wet washcloth, came across here, and swiped all along the edge of my mattress. And they're very squishable, fortunately. They squish easy. But yeah, there was quite a bit of blood. Sorry, my mattress is really old. I gotta go mattress shopping, but I have no idea what I'm doing. But this is a number one first place. You're gonna find them. Don't forget to check back here too. So let's look at some other places. Another place is they're gonna migrate over here to any kind of nightstand furniture you have. And you want to open up, and they will colonize right along here in this corner. Okay, they will colonize up under here, up around the backs of the drawers. So that's how you inspect furniture. Don't forget under the furniture. Get down there. They like to hide in corners, okay? So they also like to hide in curtains, things like that. In any case, yeah, how did I get rid of these boogers, right? You probably wonder, what did I do? So, a number one thing for treating, of course, I called the pest control company and said, yikes, help me out here. What do I do? Because I'm freaking out. And I did a little bit of research and stuff like that, and they wanted to spray my home with neonicotinoids, which is a new pest control. And basically what it is concentrated nicotine, because nicotine kills when you overdose. And insects are no different. Now, most insects like that are soft-bodied, so they absorb things through their skin. And when you spray the neonicotinoids, they get an overdose of nicotine and die. But who wants nicotine sprayed all over their house? So I looked up and I found diatomaceous earth, or DE. And it comes in these great packages, and it comes in bottles with a little tube at the end so that you can get it along all cracks and seams of your home. Now, bed bugs will go so far as to drill into sheetrock and wood. They go into your outlets like cockroaches and under your trim and burrow into your sheetrock. Ugh, yeah, they're pretty bad once they get going. Now, I only found 4 colonies along my mattress, and that was it. I didn't find them anywhere else. And of course, I am tearing my room upside down. They're not behind my curtains. They're not in my furniture. Well, they're stuck to my bed. And the pest tech said, you kept them comfortable where they were. The reason why is I was landscaping. It was spring, and I was doing some pretty heavy landscaping. Didn't want to bother cleaning my house because why bother until I'm done? We have a short window here in Spokane, Washington, of time that we get to sow and plant. And I prefer to clean house after that has transpired. Otherwise, I'm just tracking mud and dirt and filth. Ugh. So I do a deep clean every summer. Well, because I did not clean, I did not disturb them. So the number one way they spread from room to room is children, pets, and cleaning. Vacuum cleaners will get them agitated and they will run. They're not slow, okay? Those bugs were charging after me late at night. They were crawling at me across my sheets real fast. Yeah, scary. In any case, I took my tube of DE and I just put DE, it's a white powder, along the seams where the floor meets the wall. You want to just take that tube and pour that stuff there along the edges of your rooms. You also can go ahead and coat mattresses and things like that. Diatomaceous earth is made out of diatoms, which are tiny, tiny hard-shelled creatures that live in freshwater. And their shells are really sharp. And so what they do is they gather the diatoms and grind them up. And even though our skin is super tough and it doesn't bother us, it is tiny microscopic shards. And yeah, those shards pierce through the bodies. It's like if you walked on glass, right? Sharp, broken glass. If you walked on glass for a couple of miles, or better yet, crawled over a couple miles of glass shards, you wouldn't survive. And that's how it works. So it literally slices them to death. Kind of brutal, but what do you do? So the pest control tech said that we really don't like DE, and that's because it works. It's highly effective. You can use it on any insect that you don't like. It's 100% safe and natural. It's just shards of animal shells. So I DE'd everywhere I could, right? I also took my shoes and a whole bunch of things and laundered them up. Now, the cool thing about bed bugs, and this is the number one method of control for getting them out of your clothing, bed bugs cannot, unlike some insects and creatures, climb plastic or glass. Now, it takes a special kind of bug foot to be able to climb plastic and glass to begin with. Flies have little pads on their feet, kind of like a tree frog's suction cups. So they can climb anything. Bed bugs can't. They have the teeny, teeny, tiny feet like a spider. A lot of spiders can't climb that either. Some can. In any case, you, after laundering all your clothing, put it in plastic bins. You know, the big bins that you buy. Put it in there because the bed bugs can't climb in it. And keep your clothes, your clean clothes in there, definitely. Then comes the hard part. Yeah. You want to wash your sheets, all of them, in super hot. Bag up clothes, your shoes, everything. And this is the gnarly part, you guys. Nothing kills bed bugs. They're like tardigrades, man. They can survive zero. They can survive without food or oxygen for years. They go into suspended animation like a tardigrade. So, unlike lice and other pests where you can bag your clothes and the eggs hatch and the larvae starve to death, bed bugs don't. And they just sit and sit and sit in suspended anning until they reactivate once warm again or out of the bag. Yeah, so bagging up your clothes like you do with lice doesn't work. So yeah, you do the plastic bin, wash them in hot water, plastic bin it. Then a lot of people used to just go ahead and throw away mattresses and furniture. Whatever you do, don't make your problem someone else's problem by putting your furniture out on the street or giving it to charity. Don't do it, okay? Don't leave it on the side of the road for someone else to get your problem. That's rude. That's disgusting and despicable. But DE, again, it's a fine white powder. It vacuums up fairly easily, and you can toss that stuff, that powder, all into every crevice of your couch, your furniture, everything. Just pour that DE in there and let it sit, you guys. Let it sit. Now, vacuuming is a number one way they're spread, and here's why. They can crawl, and even though they can't crawl in a plastic, again, they can live for virtually ever. You suck them up into your vacuum, they're in your vacuum, and can just crawl right back out. So be really careful. Only use a bag to vacuum. And dump that bag immediately, of course. And suck some DE into there too while you're at it. Anyway, those are some tips about getting rid of bed bugs effectively. Now, some infestations can be horrible. I'm lucky because I didn't clean my house. I'm lucky because I had experience with pests and kind of my worst nightmare. This house is horribly flipped, like I've said 1,000 times before. My trim doesn't even meet the floor. When I walked in here, number one reason I didn't want the house is I said, oh, if I got bed bugs in this place, oh, heck no, I don't want this house. My sister bought it for me anyway, even though there was a million reasons why I said I didn't want it. Yeah. So, those bed bugs can go under my trim, up my wall, everything. And yes, they can climb sheetrock because it's not smooth. Yeah. So they'll go all the way up into your curtains. Any corner, crack, or crevice, they start their colony. Now here's an interesting fact about bed bugs, and part of why they spread, and part of why my bed had 4 colonies. They do this thing called traumatic insemination. And this is where the male literally stabs the female with his parts and injects his stuff all throughout her body by stabbing her. Now, if you were being stabbed in the throes of passion, you would run. Yeah, well, once she escapes him, she runs off and lays her eggs where she lay. So, she needs to get away from him. She runs off, and of course she's pregnant, right? Now they're an instar, and that means they don't have larvae. Those eggs hatch with little tiny bed bugs, teeny tiny ones. And you can look that up and see what the different instars say. Okay, so now another thing you can do is sticky tape. Yeah, you can buy really gooey tape and do sticky traps along your floor, along your bed, and they stick to it. And there you go. They crawl across the DE and they get sliced up, or they stick to your sticky tape. It works. Bed bugs are so nasty that if you surround your bed, they will climb the ceiling and drop onto you. Yeah. So, yes, surrounding your bed in sticky tape and DE is great, but they resort to all kinds of tactics when hungry, right? Yeah. Now, that's a pretty significant infestation when they get to your curtains and things like that. When I talked to the pest tech, he said you've had them for 4 months or so. And according to online and various places, after 4 months, your entire house is infested. But he said because I didn't clean and I didn't have any pets, I was probably good. Yeah, I did sticky traps. I put out the DE. A week later, I attacked my house with vacuuming. Now, like I said, with the wet rag along the seams of my mattress, I was pretty sure I squished them all. But, yeah, there could be females anywhere, right? So that's what he meant by I kept them comfortable. I didn't change my sheets because I'm filthy and whatever. I'm going to be filthy every single day. I'll wash my sheets once I'm done working with the mud. And that's what did it. I didn't disturb the mattress that they were hiding within. I flipped my mattress over. I used a hairdryer. Hairdryers do not get hot enough. I heated my room. I did all kinds of things. Because when you heat a room, the warmer it is, the more active bed bugs will become. And they will come crawling out. Now, you got to get it pretty hot. In order to kill them, you know what it is. It has to be 140 degrees. Most hairdryers don't get 140 degrees. So you have to use a heat gun. But then, of course, you don't really want to heat gun your mattress. That's where the DE can come in really well. Most hotels nowadays use bed bug zipper cases, which is a double zipper funky thing that not even bed bugs can slide through. Now, when a bed bug is not full, they're flat. And that's how they're able to squish under trims into outlets, just like cockroaches. Real sly. That's the tough thing. You can hire someone to heat the whole house. That's a drastic measure. That's when you have kids and pets and a really big house. Of course, it's expensive. But if you got bed bugs in your walls, kind of like cockroaches, cockroaches can be an inch thick inside your walls. Oh, yeah. Well, bed bugs not so different. Sorry, you guys. But be sure you check every nook and cranny of that furniture. Now, you will disturb them somewhat. The wet rag really works if you find a colony. You just squish them. Yeah, there'll be some staining. Oh well. But wherever they are, their babies are tiny. Now you will see their skin sheds too, and their poop, which is black because it's your blood. Ew. Yeah. So black flecks and their shed skin indicate where they are because they poop and shed right where they are. So if they're up inside your furniture and you start seeing that kind of stuff in your furniture, there'll be a pile of it right above the colony. Yeah, gross, but kind of like bats. In any case, the DE I found really effective, and I was pretty confident in it. But I wanted to be sure that I got it all. I did use the hairdryer tactic, even though it probably didn't get hot enough. Just to drive them out from under my trim if they were there. Just to drive them out from inside my box spring if they were there. There you go. And, of course, I did the clothing in bins, that kind of thing. Fortunately, they hadn't gone far. I turned my house upside down, of course. I checked all my furniture. I checked all of the places where bed bugs would be, and I didn't find a thing. So they hadn't even left my bedroom, fortunately. My house is tiny. It's only 624 square feet. You would think they'd be everywhere, but because I didn't clean, they had no reason to leave, and they just sit there and do their thing. So I'm going to go into things that do not work that I have seen people do. And this is a huge no-no because it does not work. There is a CO2 trap that you can make for bed bugs. Now, this is an indicator only. Even though it's a trap, if you get bed bugs in your CO2 trap, your infestation is pretty bad. Now, how it works is that yeast produces carbon, CO2, as it grows. And because bed bugs can't climb out of plastic, you get a plastic container, tape a paper towel to it, and get a plastic bottle and mix up some yeast into that plastic bottle. Now, CO2 sinks. It's heavier than air. The CO2 comes up the bottle and flows down the edges and into the plastic tub. Then once the plastic tub is full, it pours over the edges and along your floor at night. Now, bed bugs, how do they find you in the dark? Sometimes some insects go by body heat. Sometimes they can pick up on your smell, whatever. Gases that you give off. Yeah, CO2 guys, they find you by your breath. So they know exactly where you are because every part of you your bed is full of CO2 because you're breathing, right? Well, the yeast puts out just as much CO2 as you do when you're breathing. And if you leave a room and set that bed bug trap out overnight, you'll know you have them. Because you tape the paper towel to the edge, that's a ladder for them to climb up into the plastic container. Once in the plastic container, you don't put it all the way down inside. Only tape it to the edge because they fall in and then they can't climb the plastic and get out. There are people doing this to try and get rid of bed bugs. Don't do that. It does not get rid of bed bugs, you guys. I've seen people putting CO2 traps throughout their whole house, saying, "Oh, I'm getting rid of my bed bugs. I'm controlling bed bugs, and I'll get rid of." No, you will not get rid of them with a CO2 trap, because let's face it, you live there. Yeah, they're still going to come after your breath, right? Yeah, and then they're going to go after temperature, and they'll know. They learn. Animals have bug brains, right? Yeah. So do never, ever, ever use CO2 trap as a method to get rid of bed bugs. Again, get yourself a plastic or it can be glass bottle. Get yourself some yeast. Shake it up to stimulate the yeast. Put it in a plastic container and right off at the very edge, tape a paper towel going around the outside only, so that when they climb up your paper towel, they fall in and can't get back out. Now, all the CO2 trap is for is to see if you have them, and if so, check the population of it. Because if you stay out of a room that you normally sleep in, people will go sleep on the couch for a night and put the CO2 trap in the bedroom. It will show you just how many you have. The more bed bugs you have, the more will be captured in that trap in the morning. So that is the only purpose of a CO2 trap. Only. It does not control them. It does not get rid of them. Okay? So don't do what these people are doing and think that you can CO2 trap kill off your bed bugs. You can't. So another thing is not only can they live without food, water, oxygen, everything for years, yeah, they will just play dead. So they will just sit there still and you think they're dead. And they curl up and go into suspended animation. You flick them around, kind of like a shield bug or a stink bug, right? You can spin them around, whatever, flop them around, and they look dead. They're not. They're playing dead. So, yeah. In any case, yes, diatomaceous earth works. But you do have to put it everywhere. And it takes time, which I know for a lot of people is hard. To know that you're being preyed upon in your own home is a really bad feeling. Another thing is your pets, guys. They'll climb up whatever they can and just hitch a ride from room to room. Bed blankets, pet toys, pet beds. Yeah. Consider them a lot like fleas. They're pretty insidious. Anyway, yes, 100%. I do recommend the DE. 100% double-sided sticky tape. They do sell it. It does work. Put it along the edges of your moldings and trims. You can put it along the seams of your floors. I recommend DE more along the floors, but in between doorways, you can do sticky tape. Along the base of hardy furniture, you can do sticky tape. Another thing you can do is they have these shiny plastic discs, anti-bed bug discs, and you put your furniture base, the legs of your furniture, inside the plastic disc. And of course, the bed bugs can't climb the disc to get up into your furniture. So these are all tactics you use once you've identified and wiped these guys out as much as you can. But remember, there's going to be babies everywhere. By the time you see one, you've got quite a few. Don't think it's just a small case. And do use the sticky tape, guys. And that DE is fantastic, but be patient. And whatever you do, again, don't take your problem to a hotel, motel, or family or friend. Don't do it. Okay? This is your problem. Don't go stay in a hotel and risk spreading them. Same thing with friends and family. Don't do that to them. Because just like me visiting a friend, Yeah, you don't want to be that friend, do you? Absolutely do not have any visitors. No. Don't have friends, family, or other pets. And bed bugs, because they can survive zero, they can be outside. Yeah, they'll climb right out your house, out your front door, and find somebody else. Typically, they don't like to, but they can survive incredible circumstances. They really are quite hardy. Like I said, similar to a tardigrade or water bear. So there are your tips on bed bugs. Definitely remember to inspect all furniture that you pick up thrift. Inspect it. Like I said, turn it over upside down. Take the drawers out. Shine a flashlight up into that furniture and look along the seams and corners of it before you buy it. You'll see small holes too. And remember, people may have sucked out the bed bugs before they got rid of it. The eggs are still there. They're sticky and they stick and they don't suck up very well. Yeah, yeah. So know the signs. Small black dots and their shed will be there. Small black dots. If you see clusters of small black dots on any furniture, like say inside my dresser and stuff, no, do not take it. Look at every single little piece. If you're looking at used furniture, bring a flashlight, you guys. Open up. Look along the seams of the cushions of couch. Usually they're zipper up. So check those zip up seams. Run your hands up under the lips of the couch. Things like that. And if there's bed bugs there, you're going to feel something moist, iffy, squishy, whatever. But yeah, do flip over that furniture. Don't mess around. And of course, the mirror that I brought home was in a box, partially open box. So if someone who had bed bugs had that in their bedroom, decided to return it, and one of the female bed bugs was stabbed and went and ran into the box and down into it, they passed that problem on to me, right? That wasn't very nice of them. Or the friend who just wasn't going to face that she was a source. Yeah, thanks. I could have gotten it in my purse. They'll hitch a ride on whatever they can stick to. I sat on her bed, and they were most likely along that seam of the mattress and probably got into my purse. I did go there at night, which is even worse, right? Ugh. Yeah. Now, you don't know where they are, you guys. And bed bugs have nothing to do with how clean you are. Remember that. And the more clean you are, the more likely you are to spread them as well. The more animals and children you have, the more likely you are to spread them all over the house. But that DE is your best weapon. And yeah, stay home if you have bed bugs. Stay home. Quarantine yourself. This is war, right? Now, to clear your house of bed bugs, here's a great resource. There are special dogs and animals that can do all kinds of cool things that we can't. We learned how to do ultrasound from dolphins. When we're in the water, the dolphin can literally see our babies within us. Pretty cool stuff. Well, some animals can smell. We put out smells, right? They can smell things that we can't, like pheromones. They can pick up on everything. Dogs' noses are super machines. They're incredible. Look that up too. You'll be amazed. But some dogs have been trained or just have the natural ability, just like sniffing drugs, they sniff bed bugs. And only live bed bugs. Remember that smell I told you about that they give off when they're alive? We can't smell it much until you have a pretty big infestation. And then kind of their dung and things like that. we can acquire kind of a sticky sweet smell to our house once we've had them for a while. But these dogs can smell them when they're alive. And that's the kicker. So I contacted a company called Sniff Agents. Really cool. I had a guy with his beautiful little dog come on into my house. I left the house and left him alone in the house with his dog. His dog sniffs the whole house, then indicates if he finds him. So after sniffing the house one time, he takes the dog out for a walk around the block to kind of refresh his nose a little bit and brings him through one more time. I felt confident in this dog, and he did not indicate that any bed bugs were left alive in my home. Remember, it's war, you guys. Yeah, when it comes to furniture that doesn't have upholstery or fabric on it, you can get yourself a heat gun and go for it. But honestly, if you do have carpet and you get a really bad bed bug infestation, you really need to pull that carpet, you guys, because they're in the pads, they're everywhere. If you have LVP and other kinds of floors that floating floors, the bed bugs could get between those seams. All kinds of trims and places on the tops of moldings and trims above your windows and doors. They can have a colony along there too. So don't forget all of these things and how to check for your bed bugs. So they can hide all kinds of small places, anywhere along seams of clothing, in your shoes, you name it. So I boxed up my shoes and I left my shoes out in the garage for 5 years. My garage is not insulated and they were in a plastic tub. Yeah, 5 years of sub-zero and 110 degrees. They probably didn't do well. I don't think they went so far as in my shoes, but I didn't want to mess around, right? So there you have it. Those are ways that you help control and then rid your home of bed bugs. Now remember, if you have bed bugs, do that with your clothing. Do that with your shoes. Have a box where you put your shoes immediately, plastic box, immediately when you get home, dump them in that bin. Same thing with your laundry, both dirty and clean. Just have a plastic bin that you fold your clothes into, okay? Never, ever put those clothes on the floor. Now, when you go to a hotel and places like that, put your stuff up on a furniture, never on the floor. Be sure to check the perimeters of your mattress. Don't forget your headboards, places like that, because it's really important that we notify any hotel or place we stay immediately, okay? Because it's becoming a super problem. And here's why. Bed bugs are suddenly rearing their ugly heads and sweeping the nation so badly because the number one most effective chemical that killed bed bugs, bam, knocked them out, kept them under the control in this country, was DDT. DDT was super effective and instant death for bed bugs. But unfortunately, it's banned for good reason. Nothing else is really that effective on them, unfortunately. Yeah. So we used to be able to spray DDT in our hotel rooms and places like that for an infestation, and it would clear pretty quick. Not anymore. We don't have that resource anymore. And so we have to resort to different means. I wasn't comfortable spraying my home with nicotine, but that's a somewhat safe alternative. I don't think it's a safe alternative if you have young children. They put everything in their mouths. They're small. Yeah. So nicotine causes a heart attack, basically. And yeah, your insects will freak out, stimulate out, and get too hot and die. Or there's the DE that slices the crud out of them. Or there's the sticky tape that sticks the heck out of them. Anyway, look up your bed bugs. There's some tips on how I got rid of them. And what I do recommend is the sticky tape, the DE, all of that stuff. Okay, it's good stuff. Plastic box, everything. And give it some time. Only wear your clean clothes from the bin to work or when you go into public. Keep those shoes in the bin because the last thing you want to do is have it on your feet. Yes, you can have them on your shoes anywhere and go to the store. Yeah. Yuck. So, that's why we suddenly have a resurgence like crazy of bed bugs. What they look like, how to identify them. You can look up more about what they look like. Small reddish color. And remember, don't get scammed, okay? One way you can protect yourself with these bed bugs is not get scammed by having pest tech companies come out and spray things that they know don't work. They do it a lot. The DE, the sticky tape, works. And it works relatively fast. Once those eggs hatch into tiny babies and there's DE everywhere, they're gone. So you can expect an impregnated female to start a new colony every couple of weeks. That's how long from mom to baby, egg to instar that it takes. So every 2 weeks you can expect your population to double from the last one. They're quick. Yeah, all it takes is one female. And that's what I got. I got a stabbed, scared female. Probably went into my purse from someone's bed. There you have it, guys. Take care. Don't get scammed. These things work or don't work.